ಓಂ ನಮಃ ಶಿವಾಯ. 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 ಗುರು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಗುರು ವಿಷ್ಣು ಗುರುದೇವೋ ಮಹೇಶ್ವರ ಗುರು ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ತಸ್ಮೈ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರವೇ ನಮಃ. ಅಖಂಡ ಮಂಡಲಾಕಾರಂ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಂ ಯೇನ ಚರಾಚರಂ ತತ್ಪದಂ ದರ್ಶಿತಂ ಯೇನ ತಸ್ಮೈ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರವೇ ನಮಃ. ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮೂಲಂ ಗುರೋ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಪೂಜಾ ಮೂಲಂ ಗುರೋರ್ಪದಂ ಮಂತ್ರ ಮೂಲಂ ಗುರೋರ್ವಾಕ್ಯಂ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಮೂಲಂ ಗುರುಕೃಪಾ ಗುರುಕೃಪಾ ಗುರುಕೃಪಾ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಆತ್ಮದರ್ಶನಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದರ್ಶನಂ ಆತ್ಮದರ್ಶನಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದರ್ಶನಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದರ್ಶನಂ ಸತ್ಯದರ್ಶನಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದರ್ಶನಂ ಸತ್ಯದರ್ಶನಂ ಸತ್ಯದರ್ಶನಂ ಸತ್ಯದರ್ಶನಂ. My pranams, my humble pranams to all Atmajyotis. ಎಲ್ಲ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಸಾಷ್ಟಾಂಗ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಈ ದಿನ ಗುರುಪೂರ್ಣಿಮೆಯ ಶುಭ ದಿನದಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು. We have assembled here on the occasion, on the auspicious day of Guru Purnima. Today let us contemplate what is Guru Purnima, how it is related to me. ಈ ದಿನ ನಾವು ಗುರುಪೂರ್ಣಿಮೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಗುರುಪೂರ್ಣಿಮೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ನನಗೂ ಏನು ಸಂಬಂಧ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. There are many functions you have seen. ಬಹಳ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೋಗಿ, ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. So jai jai jai, there are some people who are hired and they'll say jai jai jai. Okay, you go to a film actors club, fans of film actors there. Okay, cinema actor ಗಳಿಗೆ fans ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. They take autograph, they take signature and they keep the photos in their house. Cinema actor photo ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. So if you think that Guru Purnima celebration is a continuation of these two, you have not understood anything about Guru Purnima. ಈ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಇದಾಗೆ ಗುರುದೇವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೆ, there is some ಜೈಕಾರ, something it's something goes on where you appreciate somebody. If you are thinking of that, then you have not understood anything about Guru Purnima. It's nothing like a political function, not like a fan club of film actors. There are a lot of fans of Guru. Okay, It's not like that. ಗುರುವಿನ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇವರಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗುರು? ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಗುರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಗುರು ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಬಟ್ ಗುರು ಆಪರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಎ ಬಾಡಿ. Guru is not an individual. Guru is a consciousness which operates through an individual body-mind complex. He is beyond personality. When you say person, the person comes from a Greek word called persona. A Greek word called persona. Personality comes from the Greek word called persona. Persona means a mask. Persona andre ಮುಖವಾಡ. Personality andre ಮುಖವಾಡ ಹಾಕಿಕೊಂಡವರು ಅಂತ. One who is wearing the mask. Who is that wears the mask? And what kind of mask is that? Look at your life. Your body is a genetic combination of your parents. ನಿಮ್ಮ ದೇಹ ಅನ್ನೋದು, it has come as a genetic combination of your parents. So your body is the gift of your parents. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಶರೀರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳು ಕೊಟ್ಟದ್ದು. Then what about your mind? ಮನಸ್ಸು. Your mind is contribution to the society. There's not a single piece in your mind which is your own contribution. Every bit, every piece of your mind is a contribution from society. If you are living in America, there's a part of the mind which behaves like American. If you are in India, it behaves like Indian. If you are in Gulf countries, a part of the Gulf programming goes on in your mind. This societal programming is called mind. Your body belongs to your parents. Your mind belongs to the society. Then what does belong to you? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಶರೀರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಸಮಾಜದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದೆ. You please look at your own mind. Is there a single piece in your mind which is not from the society? Take your gods, take your concepts of beauty, take your concept of happiness, unhappiness. Everything is nothing but a contribution of society. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕೂಡ ಸಮಾಜದ ಕೊಡುಗೆ. So you say, I feel happy. What does it mean? It means nothing. Because the concept of happiness is programmed by the society. So if you are American, you feel happy if you get a Mercedes Benz. So if you are African, you get happy if you get a chicken. ಒಂದು ಕೋಳಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. And American ಒಂದು Mercedes Benz. So whose happiness you are living? Or whose depression you are living? If stock market goes down in America or India, there are many people heart attack. They get heart attack. Stock market ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ heart attack ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. If stock market goes down in India, an African will not get affected. Okay, he will be affected if there is no rainfall. So his concept of happiness and unhappiness is different from your concept of happiness and happiness. And both concept of happiness and unhappiness comes from the society. It's not from you. So what is left in you? What's your own? Body is not your contribution. Mind is not your contribution. So you say, I have achievement, I have done this achievement, I have earned money. Okay? I have made a lot of money, or I have become successful. Is that your contribution? The body and minds are being used for producing that. What you are, what are you? ನೀವೇನು? Are you the body? Do you think you are a body? Your body undergoes changes every minute. For your kind information, when you breathe in and breathe out, nothing less than 100,000 cells of your body die and go out. ನೀವು ಉಸಿರಾಟ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ 1,00,000 ಕಣಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವ ಕಣಗಳು ಸಾಯ್ತವೆ, ಅದು ಹೊರಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ. When you breathe in, another 1 lakh cells are born in your body. progressively, in about 6 to 8 months, all your brain cells are replaced by new brain cells. You think that brain is a permanent thing. The brain is a permanent thing, it's only a concept in the brain, it's not a reality. You will have a fresh liver, probably once in 8 months or 9 months, exact period I don't know. Okay. You have a kidney every 1.5 years. You have a heart which is changing. Do you understand you are a fluid being? You live with the concept that I have a concrete body. I am not telling in a hypothetical fact. You can go and study medicine. And there are doctors here, sitting here. Okay? Every part of your body is getting rejuvenated, recycled every minute. And roughly in a year, 2 years, you are completely a different person or different body. Like a snake sheds its skin. How but how are you living a concept that I am the same body? How are you identifying with a body which is fluid, flexing, just changing minute to minute? This is the programming of society. You are a body. Because everybody addresses you as so and so, that address you consider as yourself. You call you by name, madam, something. So everybody deals you as if you are an entity, solid entity, which is the same entity. But you are not the body, because body is the animated consciousness which is within. Sharira ideyalla, adu chetana shakti jagadagirodu. If body is what you are, consciousness, then somewhere deep inside you there is a feeling, I am. 10 years back I was there, 20 years back, 10 years back henceforward I will be there. That I is constant in you. That I is not changing. The concept of I is not changing. But body is changing. Every minute body is changing. Sharira kshana kshanakku badlavane agtade. Manassu kshana kshanakku badlavane agtade. Mind is getting changed every minute. Then is there something constant in you? Body changes for you, it's very difficult for you to identify. Only scientists have to tell you. Or you do vipassana, you'll understand changes in the body. Vipassana dhyana madade gottagutte body changes hegagutte. Mind, of course you know. At least if you don't understand your mind changes, at least you know husband's mind changes. Morning one mood, afternoon mood, and another evening one mood. Or wife's mood changes. Okay? So then you say still, how do you identify the mind? How do you say I am the mind? You say I am happy. Your happiness concept is borrowed from the society. Then who is happy? Society is happy. So we have mixed up sense of identity somewhere. Namಗೆಲ್ಲ identity ಎಲ್ಲ mix up ಆಗಿದೆ. Then what is our true identity? Now ನಿಜವಾದ ನಾನು ಯಾರು? That search for true identity is called Atma Darshana, path of self-discovery. And this is what our rishis gave. Just like today, modern day industry, hundreds and thousands of scientists work for breaking an atom and getting a God particle. Our rishis were not happy with God particle, they were happy with God only. Okay? So you are trying to spend billions of dollars to get a God particle. ಭಗವಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ ಒಂದು ಅಣುವನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೋಟಿಗಳ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಸಂಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಿದರು. Rishis were the scientists. They were not satisfied with the God particle or what particles made by God. They wanted to find God himself. ಭಗವಂತನೇ ಕಾಣಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ರು. They spent the days and nights and their lifetime in search for something called God, not on the God particle. ಭಗವಂತನ ಕಾಣಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. They searched. And they landed with magnificent discovery. They found out a beautiful thing. They discovered that God is your own consciousness. Our inner consciousness is God. So to discover yourself, discover your inner consciousness, is journey of self-discovery. Whatever consciousness you have today, is societal consciousness is there or biological consciousness is there? Because if you are aware of the body, biological consciousness, I am head, I have a stomach ache, or some consciousness is there. You have a societal consciousness, happiness, sadness of the society. When you become aware of yourself, that's called self-awareness. And that self-awareness is called Atma Darshana, to know yourself. If you know yourself, you will know God also. That's called Brahma Darshana. Because God is nothing but consciousness, pure awareness. Now all the concept of God, what you have, God is like this, God is like that, is societal conditioning, samajika srishti. If you are really interested in finding God, then you have to do an inner journey. Now all your concept of God, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಭಗವಂತನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ is a gift from the society as a part of the programming. The concept of God is man-made concept of God. Manushya Srishti. Do you want to look at God made by man or God who made man? ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯಾದ ಭಗವಂತ ಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಭಗವಂತನಿಂದ ಯಾರು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಆ ಭಗವಂತ ಬೇಕು, ದಿ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಇನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಜರ್ನಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗಿನ ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ, ಆತ್ಮ ದರ್ಶನ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೂ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ, ನೋ ಯುವರ್ ಓನ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ರಿಯಲಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆತ್ಮವನ್ನು ನೀವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಂಡುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, then you have discovered God, because your source of God is inside you. Then don't say it's inside me only, it's inside everybody. Okay, I am so special, God is only inside, locked inside me. ನನ್ನೊಳಗೆ ಭಗವಂತ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಬೇರೆ. It's not like that. You discover that the God consciousness is there in everybody. Then you realize that there is nothing but God alone. Whatever we are seeing and experiencing is appearance in the God consciousness. ಆ ಭಗವಂತನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣುವಿಕೆ ಇದು, ಅದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. And that is called Satya Darshana. So Atma Darshana is to know yourself, Brahma Darshana is to know God, and Satya Darshana is to know the truth, reality. So they are all same, but that has to follow in sequence. You cannot know God without knowing you, and without knowing God you cannot know truth. They are all same. So the formula is Atma Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam, Satya Darshanam. When you know the truth, you can't know the truth, you can only know the facts. The facts are objective in nature, truth is subjective in nature. Truth is what you are. You cannot know the truth, but you can be the truth. This is a fact. Mobile phone, it is same for everybody. But the truth is a subjective realization of the essential nature of the universe. Antaranga Darshana, Satya enu ಅನ್ನೋದು. That is for your discovery. And that discovery leads to immortality, liberation, Jivan Mukti, or you call as, what you call as Buddha, what it says, Nirvana. All they mean the same thing. Unless you discover yourself, you cannot discover God. And unless you discover God, you cannot discover truth. And unless you don't discover truth, you will not get liberated. And until you do that, what happens is our illusion of existence continues. There are two drunkards, ibru kudukridru. They were passing on a bridge. They were standing on a bridge. One drunkard says, "Oh, look, what is there? Something here." ಒಬ್ಬ ಕುಡುಕ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಕೆಳಗೆ ನೀರಿದೆ, ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. Something is there in the, something is there. The other fellow says, "Don't you know ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ? It is moon. There's a reflection of moon in the river. ಚಂದ್ರನ ಬೆಳಕು ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದು ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ. Then first drunkard starts scratching his head. ಅಂತಲೇ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ, how come I am higher than the moon ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಚಂದ್ರನಿಗೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋದೆ ಅಂತ. Right? All your life you are living and understanding life through reflection called society. You have never seen the moon. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಡೀ ಜೀವನ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, all programming which goes on in the mind is programming by society. Every understanding of you, beauty, ugliness, happiness, unhappiness, God, aita supreme being, truth, science, fiction, magic, everything is nothing but a reflection in that consciousness. Have you seen original moon anytime? Yes, I saw in honeymoon. Honeymoon, you don't see moon also, honey also. Only the husband sees hotel bill. Unless it's sponsored by somebody. Right? So, have you seen the reality without a reflection? The reflection is programming by society. ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬಂದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕಣ್ಣಾರೆ ಕಂಡಿದ್ದೀರೋ? And to see the truth as it is called enlightenment. ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ಇದ್ದಂತೆ ಕಾಣುವುದು. Otherwise you are seeing this truth through the mirror, the reflection of the societal programming. Body is not yours, mind is not yours. How long can you live with borrowed body, mind? When do you start living with your own consciousness? That is called spiritual search. First of all, you don't know you have a consciousness like that. That search, inner search, is called search for spirituality, Adhyatmika Satya. And one who sees that, he or she becomes freed from the bondage and confusion created by society. That person will become very serene and peaceful. Dukkeshu anudignamanaah sukeshu vigataspraha vitaraga bhayakrodha stitadi muriruchyate. One who realizes the truth, satyavan yaar kaantano, he becomes free from dukkha, unhappiness, suffering. He becomes free from sukha also, happiness also. That's funny thing here. Sukha and dukkha, both he is not disturbed. Dukkhanindu mukta agtane, sukhanindu mukta agtane. Vita raga, attraction and repulsion. Nanage idu beku no attraction. Raga means attraction, Vita means repulsion. Vita raga. He gets free from that. Bhaya krodha, he becomes free from anger and fear. Bhaya and krodha mukta agtane. Such a person is called Stitadi Muni. Such a person is called enlightened Gnani anta heltare. Now I don't want unhappiness is okay, but I want happiness at least. How should we become free from unhappiness, happiness also? I don't want to become. Please question yourself. What is your concept of happiness? Whose concept of happiness you are living? You are living on borrowed concepts of happiness. You are living on borrowed concept of unhappiness. You are living on borrowed concept of attraction. I like a beautiful girl. ನಾನು ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಹುಡುಗಿ ನನಗೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. What is your concept of beauty, my dear? A fair skin? Okay, is that beauty? Why do Indians like only fair skin? Because the white skin ruled us for 300 years. So you like fair skin because you associate white skin with something fairness or beauty. So whose concept you are living? ಯಾರ ಜೀವನ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಪ್ಪ ನೀವು? So every concept is borrowed concept. Now what is your original? That is God. So when you are taking birth in your mother's womb, ತಾಯಿ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟುವಾಗ two things came together. ಎರಡು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಂತು. What is that? One cell from the mother and one cell from the father. ತಾಯಿಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಕಣ ಬಂತು, ತಂದೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಕಣ ಬಂತು. The father gave one and mother gave one. 50-50 contribution. And this became the cells of your body. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಶರೀರದ ಕಣಗಳಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. The 2 became 4, 4 became 8, 8 became 16, 16 became 32, and ultimately what you are today. So the cell contribution 50-50 from father and mother. But there was a bigger contribution, that consciousness which came into that. ಆ ಕಣಗಳಿಗೆ ಚೇತನ ಬಂತಲ್ಲ, that your father didn't give, neither your mother. If your father and mother can give that consciousness, they can give consciousness to anything. The table also can be made alive. That aliveness in you, chetana in you, didn't come from my father or mother. That is the consciousness God. That's called Shiva. ಆ ಭಗವಂತನ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬಂತು, and which animated these two cells and made into a full-fledged human being. So, what are you really at the time of birth? Body from the mother and father, and consciousness from the universe. ವಿಶ್ವದಿಂದ ಚೇತನ, ತಾಯಿ ತಂದೆಯಿಂದ ಶರೀರ ಹುಟ್ಟುವಾಗ. Then the moment you came to the earth, the societal programming started. Now you got borrowed your mind. Mind came now. The third step. You understand? You started with one cell from the mother, one cell from the father. ತಾಯಿಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಕಣ, ತಂದೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಕಣ. Then the God consciousness entered into it, Chetana. And till you are born, you have only two. What are they? Consciousness and the body. Chetana mattu Sharira. And the moment you are born, the society is there to program you very quickly. There is grandmother. Wow, what is it? My grandchild has come. Grandfather, the neighbors, the mother, father, ಎಲ್ಲ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ. Now there is another bigger guru comes into picture in your life, the child's life after the age of 3. That's called TV guru, the TV also. The programming starts. Are you aware that 50% of your brain connections, the basic connections in your brain, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಿದುಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 50% ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. The basic learning in your life, that happens before the age of 4. The 50% of your core of your personality is formed at the age of 4. And it is contributed by your father, mother, and surrounding grandma, grandfather, TV. Between the age of 4, the age of 5 and the age of 9, 10, another 30% of your basic brain structure gets formed. The connections, basic connections. I'm not speaking of engineering, mathematics skills. The basic personality module. And who programs this? Yaar marta idana? Your friends, your school teachers, right? By the age of 9 or 10, 80% of your core personality is formed by the society, environment. So that came from the environment, but originally you got only two. What is that? Consciousness and the body. Chetana mattu Sharira. Now you got additional thing came. If the society is dirty, society is poisonous, you'll get poisonous concepts. Somebody becomes a terrorist not because he wanted to become a terrorist. He born in an environment like that. Somebody becomes a rich man, not that he has become super rich. He has born into a rich environment. So the contribution comes from the society. And between the age of 10 to 18, another 10% of your brain structure gets formed. Basic structures. I'm not speaking of learning skills. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಲ್ಲ. What happens in that? The 10%. Who contributes to the 10%? Because at that age, 10 to 18, your sex hormones are getting generated. So you get attracted by opposite sex. Your personality gets structured by what you see. By the age of 18, bulk of your personality is formed, which was not there originally. ಮೊದಲಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಈಗ ಬಂತು. Now when this personality is formed, that's called mind, Manasu. That's called mask. That's why it's called persona, means mask. Mask is not your own. Mask is given to you. Mask ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. Have you seen your original face? What were you originally? And that original face of you is called God, consciousness, Chetana. So go back to this original consciousness called journey of self-discovery. So for that, you have to learn how to drop your mask and how to make inner journey so that you stand in the real self. Atma Dhnana ನಿಲ್ಲುವುದೇ ಕಲಿಯುವುದೇ ಆತ್ಮದರ್ಶನ. What is real you? Every aspect of you is a personality given by the society. You are a brother to somebody, it's a society. You are a sister to somebody, this is a society. You are a wife to somebody. But what were you originally? Pure consciousness. That understanding is called self-realization. When that understanding happens, what you understand is Nanu, Nanembudu, Nanalla, Nanu, Nanembudu, Nanalla, Ideha, Mana, Buddhi, Nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shivananu Nane, Sachidanandatma, Shivananu Nane, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I live with the identity, I am a body. ನಾನು ಶರೀರ ಅನ್ನೋ ಭಾವನೆ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. Somebody says you are beautiful, you will feel happy. Somebody says you are ugly, you will feel depressed. That's a body consciousness. ಶರೀರ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. I am the mind, ನಾನು ಮನಸ್ಸು ಅನ್ನೋ ಭಾವನೆ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. Somebody says happy, you will feel happy. I am happy. But I am not happy. That happiness is also borrowed concept. ಈ ದೇಹ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಮನಸ್ಸು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಶುದ್ಧ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಆತ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದೇ ಮುಕ್ತಿ, ಲಿಬರೇಷನ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಜೀವನ್ ಮುಕ್ತಿ. Spiritual journey is this discovery journey. Now what it has to do with the Guru Purnima? Guru Purnima ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಸಂಬಂಧ? These inner truths were discovered by the rishis, the spiritual masters of time. ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನ ಈ ಋಷಿಗಳು ಕಂಡುಕೊಂಡರು. They have handed over the truth generation to generation. ಒಂದು ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರು. And they were afraid the truth gets lost somewhere, because passing on truth from one generation to another generation, truth can get corrupted. They documented it thoroughly. They made sure that the truth is available to you even after generation and generations, because it's so precious. ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಿಜವಾದಷ್ಟು ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವಾದ್ದು. ಅದು ಒಂದು ತಲೆಮಾರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತಲೆಮಾರಿಗೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತಲೆಮಾರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತಲೆಮಾರಿಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಲೈಕ್ ಯುವರ್ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಫಾದರ್ ಗೇವ್ ಎ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್, ಎ ಲವಿಂಗ್ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್. ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡುಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ಯಾರು? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜ, ನನ್ನ ಮಗು ಅಂತ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಅವರ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ 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 ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಫಾದರ್ಸ್ 5,000 years, 10,000 years, they kept a gift for us called self-realization, Atma Dhnana, because it's so precious. No other gift comes to you. Any gift you give, gold, jewelry or land, it will disappear. But self-realization makes you immortal. So they kept the truth passed on from generation to generation, generation to generation, by word of mouth, by teaching, they passed on. Because something precious has to be passed on. And that is our contribution of rishis. ನಮ್ಮ ಋಷಿಗಳ ಕೊಡುಗೆ ಅದು. That is a gift of rishis to us. The most precious thing which is required for human life, called Atma Dhnana, self-realization, they passed on from, I don't know, it's 10,000 years or 20,000 years or more than that. They made sure that it is passed on from generation to generation. ಒಂದು ತಲೆಮಾರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತಲೆಮಾರಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರು ಅದನ್ನು. And during Middle Ages, not Middle Ages, just previous Middle Ages, their Mahabharata, Dwapara Yuga was ending. And that time, at that generation, felt that there is a possibility of truths getting corrupted further because of the age of Kali. ಕಲಿಯುಗ ಬರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ಸತ್ಯ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಮೇಡ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರೂತ್, so that we after 5,000 years 6,000 years can benefit. 5,000 ವರ್ಷ 6,000 ವರ್ಷ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ somebody thought for 5,000 years back for us. Somebody thought 10,000 years back for us. 10,000 ವರ್ಷ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. You show gratitude to your parents, but somebody who thought of you 10,000 years back, 20,000 years back, how can you show gratitude to them? 10,000 ವರ್ಷ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಕರುಣೆ ಇಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸತ್ಯ, ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಂತ ಗ್ರೇಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು? ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗುರು ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮಾ. ಅದು ಗುರು ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮೆ. ದಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಸ್ ದ ಟ್ರೂತ್, ನೋ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ನೋ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ, ನೋ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಫೀಸ್, ನೋ ಬಡಿ ಹಿಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರೂತ್. ಆ ಟ್ರೂತ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕಂಡುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಮನಿ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್. ಅದು ದುಡ್ಡು ಮಾಡೋ ಹೇಗಂತ. ದೇ ಡೆಡಿಕೇಟ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟ್ರೂತ್ and they donated their life for truth, and they passed on the truth for 10,000 years, 15,000 years, so that some future generation gets benefited from that. There was a old man, ಮುದುಕ ಇದ್ದ. He was planting a mango tree. ಅವ್ರು ಮಾವಿನ ಹಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. Then somebody came and mocked at him. ಅವನು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ತಮಾಷೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. Hey, old man, you will not live for another 5 years. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 ವರ್ಷ ಬದುಕಲ್ಲ. Why are you planting a mango tree? That old man laughed. ಆ ಮುದುಕ ನಕ್ಕ. I am not planting mango tree for myself, my dear. I am planting my mango tree for my grandson. ನನ್ನ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗುಗೆ. That is the attitude of selflessness, unselfish attitude. With that unselfish attitude, our rishis passed on the truth to us, which is their lifetime servitude. Somebody must have worked for 30 years, 40 years to understand the truth. And that has come to us in the form of Atman Gnana, knowledge of self-realization. To show gratefulness to those beings who have taken how many generations? 200 generations, 300 generations, truth is passed on. So for them, the gratefulness is called Guru Purnima. Then during end of Dwapara Yuga ಅಂತ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯಿತು? They felt that further society will degenerate. At the time of Satya Yuga, people lived in the truth. They lived as consciousness. Satya, and they established in the truth. They didn't live in the body consciousness. Treta Yuga, next generation which came. Okay? They lived in the intellectual consciousness. Dwapara Yuga, they lived in the mind consciousness. And Kali Yuga is entirely body consciousness. We identify with the body. Satya Yugadalli ಆತ್ಮದೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಆತ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ತ್ರೇತಾ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅಂತ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ದ್ವಾಪರ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಮನಸ್ಸು ಅಂತ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಕಲಿಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಶರೀರ ಅಂತ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. So there's a progressive solidification of the human being from a pure abstract consciousness to solid consciousness. So at the end of Dwapara Yuga, they desire that people in the Kali Yuga, they can't understand the truth because they are body conscious. Sharia. So that's why Sri Vedavyas Maharshi came and he divided Vedas into many divisions. Why many divisions? Because each division, at least you understand one division and keep it. So multiple divisions. So the one group can take one truth, one group can take one truth, one group can take one truth. One of the group one truth and they want to let them pass on to the next generation. Because you can't understand the whole truth, bigger picture. That's why it's called Vyasa, means dividing. He divided Vedas or the supreme knowledge into multiple understandable modules. ಆ ವೇದವನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಭಾಗ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುವಂತೆ ಮಾಡಿದರು. And that he passed on for 5,000 years. Please understand, the country of India has gone through maximum more than about 1,000 years of war during Middle Ages. Everything known as a cultural symbol has been destroyed in the country. The temples have been destroyed. The education system has been destroyed. Because of the wars and because of the damages which are happening in society. But foresight of Rishis like Vedavyasa ensure that the truth gets on passed on to the next generation. And what are these truths? These are not only spiritual truths, they are all scientific truths also. Whatever you call as numerology, astrology, mathematics, physics, chemistry, most of them have basics in Vedic knowledge. But for number system, but for algebra, our civilization cannot be what is there today. We can give credit to Leibniz for algebra. We can give credit to many scientists. Modern day people can go and put a stamp. I discovered this. But there is somebody who preserved the original discovery so that civilization can come up. That is Vedavyasa Maharshi. The respect for Vedavyasa Maharshi is Guru Purnima. Guru Purnima is Vedavyasa Maharshi Gaurav. But for that preservation, today there will be no science, no technology, no mathematics. And people will be like Middle Ages fighting with each other. So today is called Vyasa Purnima because we are respecting Sri Vedavyasa Maharshi, who gave the seeds of civilization, seeds of science and technology, seeds of self-realization, preserved it for the future generation to come. 5,030 years, which means even if 100 years, 50 generations or 55 generations ago, somebody thought of us. Nowadays, a brother doesn't care for brother. If the money deal is there, brother is not brother. Right? Sister is not sister. Wife is not wife. Everything is measured in money, what I get. But somebody for 50 generations, 60 generations, 100 generations back, lovingly preserved something for us, not expecting anything. Respect for that is called Vyasa Purnima. So Vyasa Maharshi not only established that, he established a system of teaching. So because at that time there was no television, there was no internet, there is no communication media. So he generated a system of teachers so that there is no linkage of truth is broken. Satyavana. So this lineage of masters, teachers have come from generation to generation. So India is a country which has preserved the highest spiritual truths, the highest discovery of science and technology in earlier days. And this is preserved through generations of masters and disciple parampara, Guru Shishya parampara. Today is respect for the Guru Shishya parampara. Guru Shishya parampara is Gaurav, because without the chain getting broken, you cannot transmit the knowledge. There is no wireless, there is no internet. Sada Shiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama. The tradition of spiritual teaching started with the Sadashiva. Sadashiva is Parabrahma. Then it came to different teachers, Shankaracharya and his Shishyas and his Shishyas. And ultimately it reaches to us in some way. There are two traditions which are spoken of India. One is Sadashiva Samarambha, Sadashiva, starting from Sadashiva. Another tradition starts from Narayana, Padma Sambhava. Sriman Narayana, who is supreme reality, was responsible from whom Vishnu arose. He gave certain spiritual truths to his son Brahma, and Brahma passed on to Devatas. Devatas passed on to Rishis. Rishis passed on to Acharyas, and from Acharyas it has come to us. This is actually what is called Guru Parampara, Shishya, Guru tradition, and Guru and Shishya. So it starts with Parabrahma Narayana, it goes to Devatas, and it goes to Rishis, and it goes to human being. Till today, the knowledge transmission happens. So this transmission system of knowledge is called Guru Shishya Parampara. Nowhere in the world it is there. In India, it is survived after more than 1,000 years of war, all kinds of destruction. Please understand, Afghanistan went through 40 years of war, everything there gets destroyed. India went through that type of destruction several times. Still the wisdom is preserved. And that is because of this Guru Shishya Parampara, the great tradition of spiritual masters, lineage of masters. Today is a day for respecting that Guru Shishya Parampara, which gave us the wisdom. Till the master who comes to you today to deliver that message. So this is not a person. This is not Prabhu is not delivering the message. Prabhu is not giving the message. Prabhu is only delivering the message. I am just carrying the message of Rishis and passing it on to you. I am just an instrument through which the message gets passed on. Many instruments like me has come and they pass on the instrument message as much as uncorrupted as possible so that future generation gets benefit. So respect for the master today so that this tradition continues. But for self-realization, Atmadana, human beings will be living like animals. Somebody came to and asked a master, Abba Guru inadu keldu. So you are so famous, Guru. What do you do? Why people are so famous? Why you are so famous? Guru said, I don't know. Ask my student. Nan Shishya kelidu. So he goes to his Shishya and asks his Shishya, does your Guru do miracles? I have not said any. Miracle nodilla. I have not seen any miracles. He doesn't do any magic. But I have seen one miracle. That miracle is, after the students come to the master, they no longer remain human beings, they become divine beings. A master, the spiritual truths, make a human being into a divine being, bring the divine qualities in the human being. The human life is a junction, like a railway junction. You can live an animal life in human life, you can live a human life in human life, you can live a divine life in human life, or you can live a beyond divine life, which is called liberated life. Manusya janma anadu ಒಂದು junction appa. ಪ್ರಾಣಿವಾಗಿ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡುವುದು, which most of the people live. No, I don't live like an animal. What do you mean? What do you live for? Food, sex? No, I live for money. Money is for food and sex only. That's called dharma, artha, kama. The human beings have 4 motivations in life. Whenever we get married, we speak of these 4 motivations. I am getting married to fulfill these 4 motivations. Artha, kama, moksha, dharma. There are 4 aspects of human personal motivation. That artha means money, kama means desire. So most of our life becomes artha and kama, money and sex. So this is actually animal life. Animals don't earn money, but purpose is that. Now from that, human beings can rise. Manushyuru melake irbodappಾ. That's called dharma. And human beings can get liberated. That's called moksha. See, this concept of dharma and concept of moksha is what Rishis gave to us for our upliftment. So today is respect for the truths which are passed on, which is called dharma and moksha. How do you evolve yourself into a higher being, and how do you get liberated? That passage of truth is that is the respect. Today we are giving the respect for that. And today also we are giving a respect for the relationship between Guru and Shishya.